Over the past couple of weeks, I've been putting together a desktop PC for basic video editing and general purpose use. So I salvaged this Dell Optiplex 3010 system unit. I added a 1 terabyte hard drive and a 256 gigabyte SSD. I've installed a USB 3.0 interface with 3 ports in the back, a wireless interface, as well as a brand new Acer monitor, and a sweet little Logitech wireless optical mouse, and a keyboard. And right now we're going to talk about this keyboard because I'm loving this keyboard. What we have here is the Steelseries Apex 100 keyboard. This is not a mechanical keyboard. This is a membrane type keyboard with rubber domes. And I've got to be completely honest, I've used this keyboard for about 2 weeks now, and it's one of the best keyboards I can honestly say you can buy for around $30. I mean, there is nothing better that I have found than this keyboard. This is a low-cost alternative to the Cherry mechanical switch-based keyboards that are quite popular for mostly gaming. What makes this keyboard special is it has a specially styled membrane plunger-type key mechanism that simulates a mechanical keyboard. The end result is a key feel that is simply better than anything else on the market. I just can't put it any other way. While every other manufacturer is really pushing these half semi-travel keys with very poor tactile feedback, including Apple. In a world of wimpy, short travel keyboards that have really no tactile feedback of any kind, it's refreshing to know that you can still buy a full travel business class keyboard that still retains a nice weighted key with just the right amount of throw. And one of the other more refreshing aspects of this keyboard is it ditches the excessive use of media and special function keys that adorned keyboards from about 1999 on to about the mid-2000s. Actually, they still continue to make them that way to this very day. Now, I typed my very first research paper on a Model M IBM PS2 keyboard, so I know what a good keyboard feels like. This is not a Model M keyboard. In fact, if you like Model M keyboards, you can still buy them brand new from a company called Unicomp, who purchased all the rights to manufacture the keyboard from IBM way back in the late 90s. This is not a Model M keyboard, no, but it is an excellent typing keyboard. If you plan on doing a lot of writing, these keys are well made. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe the lettering is actually silk screened onto these keys rather than ink or laser etched, but it's still a $30 keyboard, and any keyboard in that price range is going to have silk screened keys anyway. But what I really love about this keyboard is the bed plate is stiff as a rock. It has a lot of weight to it. It's pretty clear to me that underneath all this plastic is a nice heavy steel pan. I'm pretty sure that's how this thing is constructed because there's no other way this thing has that much weight. What's also nice about this keyboard is the feet are well made and click into position with purpose and dignity. There's also rubber pads at the bottom of each riser foot, which is unusual for a lot of keyboards, especially in this price range. It also features drain holes at the front, so it's a spill-resistant rather than spill-proof design. Typing on this keyboard is a breeze. It takes some getting used to because if you've been using a modern-day short-travel laptop-style keyboard for many years, as I have, it does take some time. Let me write out what I'm saying here. It does take some time in order to get used to the keyboard's full layout. See, I can't touch type worth a damn anymore. To get used to the keyboard's full layout and full travel keystroke design. Yeah, that's not really all that. I'd be fired if I was a secretary. I'd be fired by now. Now it has one gizmo feature that I don't particularly care for, and that it is backlit, but not backlit in a sense that makes any sense at all. This is marketed as a gamer's keyboard, so it has useless backlighting that does nothing to help you. Instead, it actually distracts you. If you press the special Steelseries function key, which is this little Steelseries logo here, and press F6, the keyboard illuminates with four settings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 4 brightness setting with the number 4 being off. I find this extremely distracting. It does not illuminate the keycaps, so there's no through illumination on those. But let's turn the lights off and you can better see what I mean by distracting. Let's say you're in a dark room. This bright blue lava pit is under your fingers. I don't like it at all. So I turn the brightness completely off. If it were done in a more soothing light, let's say orange or maybe even a soft green, might make some sense. You know, amber lighting is easier on the eyes, as is green, but blue and red are two of the hardest colors in low light conditions on your eyes. What else can I tell you? I mean, it does support the Steelseries engine, which allows you to remap the keys. It does have media functions built in. You have to use the Steelseries logo as your key modifier, and you can press like F12 will bring your volume up, and F11 brings it down, so you get some volume controls. You've got these media controls that work with programs like VLC and iTunes and other media applications. But it's basic, it's black, it's heavy, and it's got excellent key feel. I personally have considered buying the Unicomp Model M redo. They come in two different versions, two main versions. You get the classic model, actually two versions of the Model M, one with a more modernized case, and then you've got a third version with the track point built right into the keyboard, and that's the one I'd like to buy. It's about $115, making it a very expensive keyboard, but it's also one that will last a lifetime. But for now, I'm going to be happy with this $30 Steelseries. Again, this is the Apex 100. I'm not getting paid for this. I just buy a product, I use it, and I like it, and I share it with my friends and viewers, because I feel that good products should succeed in the market, because it pushes out some of the bad products. Let me show you a bad keyboard. What we have here is a typical System Builder Pack Microsoft keyboard. They did sell these at Staples and Best Buy at one point. But this is a very poorly made keyboard. It has no weight to it at all. This is the Keyboard 400. Even has a certificate of authenticity, and if it were my company, I'd be embarrassed to issue something like this with my company name on it. It has tons of deck flex. Look at that. It's total garbage. Total garbage. The keys are mushy with no travel. It's just a terrible, terrible keyboard to use. I just can't even tell you. I mean, look at these wimpy little feet. They're so thin, they just break off if you look at them wrong. There's no rubber on the bottom of these, so it slides all over the desk. A keyboard like this generally retails for approximately 20 bucks. I recently went to my local Staples store. So when I started putting this computer together as a unit, I went keyboard shopping. I went to 3 stores. 3 different stores, okay? Now, what I found was your typical selection of Logitech, you know, just low-end keyboards from Logitech, all with basically the same short travel key mechanisms, rubber dome, membrane, just junk. You know, very flexible decks, with just no tactile feedback at all, and they were all like that. But they had, their basic wired USB keyboard, which was, about $15 or so, all the way up to $100 or so for one with a built-in iPad dock, because apparently we're just using iPads now, I guess. Some of them wireless, some of them with fancy rubberized wrist pads built in, But they all had a general feel of just nothingness to them, regardless of price. And they also had, of course, the obligatory gamers keyboards from companies like Razer, Steelseries, and I believe Logitech has a gaming line as well. And those were kind of nice. They had real cherry switches in them, I believe. But they were also very expensive. We're talking in the $80 to $100 range. And I have found that all stores had basically the same mix of product. Microsoft appears to be dwindling their keyboard stock to next to nothing, so they don't really offer many keyboards anymore. Microsoft once offered some of the best mice and keyboards you could buy, but that is no longer true. So anyway, it wasn't until I went to Best Buy, Staples, who else is in my area? And I went to Walmart. And it wasn't until I hit Walmart that I found this. In fact, I was intrigued so much by it, its low price and perceived, quality feel that was stated in the box, I actually unboxed it right there in the store. And it wasn't until I typed a few sentences, putting it on a shelf, I'm like, this is the one. I found it. I'm like Goldilocks, and I found the right bed, I found the right bowl of mush, and damn it, I'm buying it. So I did. Anyway, so that's how I found it. I found it at Walmart. Best Buy, Staples, they didn't have anything like this. So yeah, you can still get a membrane type keyboard that has an actual, it has a good feel to it. Like I actually kind of want to write a novel right now, because when you find a keyboard that's fun to type on, that has just the right look and feel, you want to use it. You want to use it, you want to abuse it, and you want to make it sing. That's kind of how I feel about this keyboard. And I mentioned this in a few live feeds, and I couldn't say enough about it. So I also picked up this microphone. This is a Radio Shack mic. I bought this from the Hillsborough, New Hampshire Radio Shack. We still have one of those. And this is to help improve my live feeds and for better audio, because I have my cameras have built-in microphones, but they don't sound very good. This sounds just a little bit better, not much, but just a little bit better. It also looks nice on the desk. And I also found this mouse pad. I wanted to I like, every couple of years I buy a new mouse pad, and this is what I found for this one. I like it. It's an Allsop, still in business, believe it or not, making computer accessories, and that's kind of their business, and that's been that way for years. But I found that mouse pad, and I had to have it because I love the design of it. So anyway, that's just a quick little update on my desktop build, which again is just a repurposed, recycled, salvaged corporate desktop. It's about 5 years old. Did some upgrades to it, added some peripherals, and I'm happy as a clam. I love this machine. Very fast. You pop an SSD in this thing and it wakes up like old man winter. I mean, in the spring. How does that work? Anyway, it just wakes up. And I'm very happy. Very, very low cost build too. I think I'm only a few $100 into this thing. Yeah, keyboard, mouse, SSD, hard drive. Hell, the SSD and the hard drive only cost me $109, $109 I think for both, which is incredible. I had to run out and buy a few other items to make that work though. I had to buy a Y splitter for my SATA power connector, and I had to buy, didn't have to buy, but I chose to buy the custom shortened SATA cables that Dell made for these Optiplexes, because they're a small form factor desktop. there's not a lot of room in there for extra cabling, so they use these custom shortened, they're only like 6-inch long SATA cables. I bought one of those. So it's running with 2 drives, and yeah, life couldn't be better. Thank you for watching.